Have you ever noticed how you just keep starting over? New Monday, new plan, new motivations. And for like a week or two, you're completely all in. But then life happens. You miss a workout, you eat off plan, and suddenly it feels like you're back to square one again. So you reset and you promise yourself this time's going to be different, but it just never is. Now, if this sounds familiar, then this next video is for you because you're not broken and you're definitely not lazy. You're just stuck in a cycle that most people don't realize they're in. So, today we're going to talk about why you keep starting over and more importantly, how to make this stop. Because the issue isn't your effort or your willpower, and it's definitely not your knowledge either. It's the cycle you're trapped in. And once you see it, you can actually break it. This is called the restart cycle. Now, there's 6 points of this one, and this is how it usually goes. You start off by feeling motivated. Okay? It's New Year, holidays coming up, and you feel fed up with where you're at. Now, because of this, we create an extreme plan for ourselves. Now, what that could mean is like 6 workouts a week, really low calories, no going off plan, and an all or nothing mindset. Now, at first, everything feels great. You feel disciplined, you're in control, but extreme plans require and need extreme effort. Now, extreme effort is really difficult to sustain. So what happens next is we hit burnout. You get tired, something happens at home, life gets busy, and you end up slipping. Then, straight away, you end up quitting. When you quit, we move on to something which we all know as guilt. Now, you feel like you failed again. Like you should be better by now. This is it. Why has this happened? And guilt then makes us restart. And it happens again. We go back through that restart cycle. You go back to motivation, back to extreme workouts or extreme programming, and back to burnout. That's the cycle. Now, the problem isn't that you keep stopping. The problem is how you start it. If you always start with the extremes, you're always going to end up in burnout. I've coached so many women who thought they had discipline, and when we look closer, it's just that they were trying to train like 6 times a week on 1,400 calories. They had a really busy job, really important jobs, families, children, and on top of that, just general life stress. Now, it's not a lack of discipline. It's that the plan doesn't contain much reality. So when we change things based on their constraints, for example, we made it 3 workouts, we had manageable calories, we had flexibility on the weekend when they were spending more time with family. And they noticed straight away they started progressing. Now, what I want to show you now is the progressive loop. The progression loop is you start small. So small actions. Okay? So it's small enough to repeat because repetition builds consistency. And the moment we start being consistent, it becomes a lot easier. It builds confidence. Now, when we start feeling confident and we start seeing changes, we start getting those feelings back, and we end up finally getting results. Okay? Now, results then give us something that we all love and need, and it's the big one: motivation. Motivation comes after you've done everything else. It's the last in the process. It's the thing that drives it on for a longer period of time. Now, motivation doesn't come first. We can't rely on that happening and then starting. That comes when everything else is in place, and it keeps us going for a longer period of time. So you don't need a perfect plan. You need one that's more repeatable. The goal isn't to go all in for like 2 weeks at a time. The goal is to be able to be consistent and motivated for 6 months. Most people chase that intensity, that quick change, but actually results come from sustainability. So if you want to break the cycle, instead of asking what's the best plan, ask yourself, what can I repeat at my worst case scenario, my busy week? That's where you start. Now, that could mean 3 workouts instead of 6, or even 2, 8K steps instead of 15,000. Balanced meals that are family orientated rather than be strict dieting out of tubs and stuff like that. Way less extreme, but more repeatable. Now, imagine where you'd be right now if you didn't have to start every single month. Like, how long has this been a goal in your mind? Now, if you're going to go and continuously go at 70% effort, it's slow progress, but it compounds over time. But it's way better than restarting and then resetting constantly. So, my question for you, ask yourself now, are you stuck in a restart cycle? Be honest with yourself, because awareness of the situation we're in is kind of the first step. If this talk has hit home, I want you to DM or comment, if you're on YouTube, restart below. And what I'll do is I'll send you a link to a completely free starter pack, and you'll be able to build your own plan. You'll be able to start building things that fit your life in a way that works with your constraints. And this is what this channel is going to be for. No extremes, no guilt, just realistic progress. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.